No. So today someone dropped off two sets of knives. One is a regular kitchen block of Henkel knives, and another are these gold plated titanium knives, and I've never seen this before, so I'm very curious how they're going to sharpen. I would assume they're going to be just the same. Mr. Cook, I've never heard of this brand. I don't know if this is just a little knockoff from Amazon or something, but yeah, let's go sharpen it. So again, currently I have my 120 grit Cubitron belt out, and I'm going to move this a little bit. All right, and now I'm gonna set the angle to sharpen these. I sharpen them around 17 degrees, so we'll see how that goes. And then someone else dropped off 4 shoe knives, so I'm going to sharpen both sets of these butcher blocks and the shoons in this little video. So the angle is very steep as I just got done sharpening some Skyber knives, which were very difficult, and made a little video about that. All right, so let's get to 17.1. Yes, I'm very happy with 17.1. All right, 17, perfect. You don't have to get too anal about the 0.1s, 0.2s, as long as you're in the ballpark over there. All right, and then here's some scissors as well, so I'll show you how I sharpen those on the belt sander. All right, so let me get my respirator on. Always wear some sort of respirator. N95. I have the full face one, but I know a lot of people have just the half face and they wear some iPro, so that's the best thing to do. Let's try and get the camera angle good. All right, let's get the sharpening. Hi Sherry, how are you? So not many people were on when I first started, but customer dropped off these gold-plated titanium knives and 2 sets. So those are Henkel's down there, titanium knives, and then another customer dropped off 4 shoons. So I'm gonna change the angle on that, but I'm gonna sharpen these first and get started. Scissors here. Hello, everyone. All right, so with these scissors, I mean, there's different ways to sharpen scissors. Hey, Joey, Sonic, Sherry, how are you guys? So all I'm doing right here is matching up this bevel. See if you guys can see that. Yeah, so I'm matching up this bevel here with my angle guide, and all I'm doing is just coming in a straight line, and then you're stopping when you can feel a burr. So I feel a burr throughout the whole edge right here. And then biggest thing is you don't want to just close these down because you're pushing the burr between these two. So you want to pull, so you want to push like the blades apart and then squeeze them together to pull like the burr apart. Because if you pull them in, they're going to be pulling between these two edges, which you don't want to potentially damage. So I'm pushing the two blades apart, then squeezing, and then the burr should pop off on this side. If I went to squeeze down, it'll come on the inside and potentially damage them. So, and that's 120 grit, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with this pair over here. And I'll show you how I sharpen the serrated knives as well. Actually, I don't think they wanted me to sharpen these. Yeah, let's just test it. See how they are. Well, this is horrible. Yeah, these are not sharp. Okay. All right, well then I'll show you how I sharpen them as well. All right. So if you have any questions, I'm gonna turn the machine off because you can't really hear me with the respirator on. And yeah, so again, if you guys are liking this video, enjoying me sharpen these gold-plated titanium knives along with this Henkel set, and I'm gonna have some shoons, please like the video, thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. That helps me out as a small business and growing YouTube channel. All right, those cut very nice. And I usually keep these at a very coarse grit because I want them very toothy. I don't refine them too much because for scissors, you're cutting through things and you want a very toothy edge. So with 120 grit, I'm very happy with them. So you can see I'm cutting paper all the way through to the tip. Yeah, that looks awesome. There we go. Not pulling, that's awesome. All right, let's get rid of that one. Goodbye. So I'm done sharpening with my 120 grit Cubitron belt. Going to my A30 Trizec, which is about 600 grit. So you can think of all these belts as just different sandpapers, starting from coarse to fine. Okay, so I'm actually going to hold off from sharpening these guys because the way I sharpen, I put them on top of the belt and I do edge trailing, but I do remove some of the gold platedness of it. So I'm gonna contact the customer first, see if they're okay with that. So I'll do that off camera. So that's the biggest thing. You always want to have customer service be your priority. So these I was totally fine sharpening because there was already the silver exposed, so I can sharpen it. So I didn't remove or damage anything. If I did the serrated knives, I would actually be removing part of it, so I'm gonna contact her to see if she wants that done. So I'll do that in a little bit. So just for the straight edge ones, we're done with the A30, which is 600 grit. Then we're gonna go to a very fine A16 Trizec, which is about 1200 grit. All right, let's see, my magnet is catching. There we go. Magnet was not on, there we go. All these metal shavings are from the knives, and I have a magnet underneath this to catch all the metal shavings. All right. All right, so I'm done sharpening. Now I'm gonna move you guys over to my leather wheel, or to my leather belt over here. All right, so everything was edge leading, which meant the belt is coming towards us, so I was leaving a very fine burr on it, and so it shouldn't take too much pressure to take off the burr. And then, all right. I did just buy this felt belt, so I'm very curious how that's gonna work. I'll do that at a later date to see how that's gonna work on my machine. So far, the leather belt's been fantastic, so I'm curious how the felt belt will compare. All right. Bring these over here. There we go. Can you guys let me know how the camera view is? Like, do I need to change views, zoom in? Yeah, please let me know in the comments. All right. So that should do it with that guy. So another thing, always take your leather belts off. These will stretch over time, so to minimize that, just take them off. And let's do our cut test. Very thin magazine paper, so the thinner the paper, the more difficult like the test. So let's see how this does. Let's do it over my trash can. Oh yeah. That thing is beautiful. Test this guy out. Oops. Let's see. Okay, it's catching a little bit. Man, I'll just have to go over that again. All right. I'm gonna leave that one out because I'm gonna resharpen that guy. Or not resharpen, but work on my leather strop for a sec. Oh yeah, that's very good. Catching. Okay, there we go. I have to swap to a new piece of paper. Yeah, that one cut down, or that one ripped down here because that's how the paper was. But come on now. All right, might have to hit that one up with the strop. So that's the leather strop. Okay, it's catching a little bit up top. Maybe the bird just fell off right there. Okay, I'll hit that one up again. Hit that guy. Okay, let's test this one out. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So we're gonna just do a little more refinement with this guy. This is my leather kangaroo strop. I love this one. Very smooth leather. Not every knife needs it, but these were catching a very little, so the burr is probably still left on it. But this is a very easy fix. It's a high quality leather strop. Yeah, if I hold it, might be better. There we go. All right. Let's try again on a clean piece of paper, since I have plenty of it. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. See, it just needs a little bit more refinement and then we're good to go. That's it. You see how simple that is? Oops, catching. Ah. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so this is set one that's done. Put these two scissors in there as well. This one does have its own pull-through sharpener, but the customer just doesn't trust that, and she found me, and I'm like, perfect. I can definitely sharpen it better than that sharpener. All right, get that one off to the side. Here we have a set of Henkel knives. Has anyone seen these steels before? Like, do they have them in your own set? Please let me know. These things are horrible. People think that these straighten out like the edge. So they think like the edge is bent over, that this will help straighten the edge out. It doesn't do that. All this does is if you were to sharpen, if you were to do an at-home sharpening, you have that burr, and it's a very weak burr. This will help take the burr off. So it doesn't straighten out the edge, and you can easily dull a knife by doing this. Like you see the Gordon Ramsay, where they go back and forth, back and forth. If you have the wrong angle, it's horrible. And you'll actually make your knife much duller. And I made the mistake. So if you have this, stay away from it unless you want to see a sharpener sooner. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 6, we have 10 knives. So we have a single bevel over here with a serrated part. So it's a single bevel because there's nothing on this side. So I'll show you how I sharpen these. Perfect. All right. So we're going to start with our 120 grit Cubitron belt. All right. Got my respirator on, so if you guys have any questions, I'm going to stop the machine because you can't really hear me with this on.
Okay, so these knives are around 20, so I'm going to sharpen these ones up here, then I'll come back to sharpen these ones, so I'm not changing the angle back and forth. So we are all done with the 120 grit Cubitron belt. Now we're going to our A30 Trizac, and that's what I'll actually sharpen the serrated knife on. This is this guy right here, so I'm going to sharpen that on that one. And then I'll sharpen the serrations on these guys. And then I'll come back, I'll change the angle, I'll go through the whole progression again. Purple monkey dishwasher. Hey, buddy.
Sorry, I just realized I had my respirator on. Mike, what's up, buddy? Everyone, Sharpen Right Services, awesome guy, Mike. He does great work in Texas, so he has also a YouTube channel, so go check him out. What I was saying is that with the A30 Trizac, I'm going to sharpen the serrated knife on this one, and then I'll hit all these steak knives as well. So I'm gonna sharpen all the steak knives on this. I'll show you how I do that. And with this is a wrong angle, so I'm gonna change it to around 20, and then I'll show you how I sharpen the single bevel steak knives over there. Mike, of course, dude, anything for you. Warrior, thanks, man. I just got your message, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been told having the mask on is tough to hear, so I'll set off to a talk. So when I did the 120 grit Cubitron, that was setting the bevel and setting the burr. So it doesn't matter how many strokes or passes it takes, as long as I hit it. Then with these, I do equal passes. This is just refinement. Then I'll hit the A16, which is even more refinement. So I'll do equal passes with those. To sharpen the serrated knife, I'm going to just gently touch like the back edge because these serrations still look good. If these serrations were really bad, I would use a diamond wheel and cut in new serrations, but I don't have to with this. So I'm gently just going to kiss the back edge of this until I create a burr. And then I'll use my on-off magnet with my wire wheel brush. And then I'll do the same thing with these over here. And I just realized I just did a mobile job today. So this is my like my vehicle. It's a Rivian, and I was able to load the front up. Come on. Let me open it up as I have stuff in here. Voila! This is the benefit of having an electric vehicle, so I can just use like the front of it, and it shuts just like that. So I had my little Dremel wheel in here, so perfect. So this is going to help for the serrations. Words are tough. There we go. All right. Frank, yeah, buddy. Hey, Spark Knife Sharpening. I don't think we've met, man. I'm Vinny. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim, what's up, buddy? Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. So that little white line is a burr. So this, all the straight knives look pretty good when I first inspected them. So I did leave a little bit of a line over here, but that's totally acceptable. So then I have my on-off magnet. This is awesome. And then I have a wire wheel brush. And all I'm gonna do is just going to tease the burr from this side onto the back and then back and forth until the burr falls off. Yeah, very good point. I always wash every knife with alcohol, with 99% rubbing alcohol. That guy right there. So I spray every knife down, I wipe it down, but yes, it's always best practice to, I always tell every customer, even though I clean it off, wash it with soap and water before use. So, very good point, man. Thank you very much. Okay, so that was done with that. So then I'm going to change the angle to hit those single bevel serrations. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna hit the other knives with my A16 Trizac, and then I'll come back, I'll change the angle for the steak knives. All right. All right. So next, let's take this angle to 20 degrees to work on those. So again, back to my 120 grit Cubitron. Reset the angle. I don't trust these angle guides from Amazon. I did buy some upgraded ones from a better supplier. So that's why I always use this angle guide, just to make sure. Just to re-verify. Okay, let's bump it up to 20. If I was strong enough to, okay. Where is it? All right. I need someone with strong hands. There, easy enough. Perfect. So you see where I'm at, like 20.3. Don't fuss, or 20.2. Do not fuss about 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. It's all in the same ballpark, so you're good if you ever have a digital angle guide, because I have stressed myself out spending too long trying to figure out changing the angle on it. So just don't worry about it. Mike. All right, so we sharpen all of them at 20 degrees on the A30 Trizac, or I'm sorry, on the 120 Cubitron. Now I'm going to the A30 Trizac. So you guys see that white line? Yep, that's a burr, pretty pronounced. So I'm going to just gently touch it, just kiss it on the back edge, knock it down, and I'll resharpen it on the other side, just polishing up the old edge. But yes, if you guys are enjoying this video and like watching a little bit of the knife sharpening, please give this a thumbs up, follow, and subscribe. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Back. Sorry about that. Okay.
Whew. Sorry about that. That is fat fingers knocking off my camera. Okay, perfect. So that's all sharpened over here. Now I'm going to my leather strop. So everything again was edge leading, and now this has to go edge trailing so I don't cut into my leather belt. All right, bring this over here. And I sharpen my knives around 2,000 RPM, and I strop around 1,400. I go a little bit slower because I don't want to potentially roll the edge after all the hard work of sharpening. Okay. All right, we are done sharpening, done stropping. You always want to take your leather belts off so you're not risking any stretching on them. Since they're natural, they will stretch over time if left on it. So let's do our cut test. Very, very nice. Yeah, I like it. Much sharper. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, tore a little bit right there. Yeah, very, very nice. Let's test these bad boys out. Come on now. Okay, I might have to hit that one more time on the straighted part. Okay. Straight edge is good. I'll have to touch those up on my wire reel again. And that's why I'm testing all of them out before I give them back to the customer. Worst thing I could do is sharpen, not test, and the customer is not happy because the knives are still dull. Yeah. Straight edge is good. I'll just touch up each of the serrations one more time. Straight edge is good. I'll touch up the serrations again. Some are good, probably half are good, half are need a little bit extra work on the serrations, but overall, very happy with it. And then for the final one, a different customer dropped off 4 Shun knives. So I'm going to change the angle completely on this. Japanese knives need to be sharpened a little bit steeper of an angle. Okay, swap out tape. My belts are going a little... I've been having to apply a little bit more pressure on each of the belts, and I just got a new shipment of belts in, so let's swap them out for brand new freshies. When you notice, you know, I've been asked, like, how do I know when to swap out belts? One, on the Kupatrons, they're very easy because they're very coarse, and then when they start getting smooth, kind of like the Trizex, the 600 and 1200, it's time to swap it. Plus, these shouldn't overheat too much, so when they do, you're like, okay, I'm putting way too much pressure on. It's a good idea to swap them out. Green frog tape helps prevent against any scratches. All right. 1 knife, 2 knife, 3, and 4. Most people bring me their knives and towels, so I always try to just fold it up for them. I have forgot people's towels a few times. I give them back, their knives all wrapped up. I'm like, oh no. So been trying to make a point of it. Okay. So let's check these out. Mike, are you still on? Let's test them out. Mike has mentioned to me how much I love my my best scale. So, Mike, if you're on, this one is for you. We're gonna get a measurement before we sharpen. That was horrible. All right, this knife, it's a 1,355 grams of force to cut through this piece of test media. We are going to significantly make that much better. here. Let's go here. All right. Japanese knives, shuns especially, need to be sharpened at a more of acute angle. So I sharpen the handles around 17. That's mostly hit the like, folks. He deserves it. Thank you very much. So this is not the angle of my angle guide. This is just how my plan is sitting right now. So this gives me a good 0. So, like I said before, sharpen those steak knives at 20 degrees. I'm going to move this down to 15. And that's usually a pretty good number for Japanese knives and shuns. I've had some Miyabis that needed to be around 12, but that's all good. So I'm at 15 right there. Just jump to 15.1. Don't stress out. So it jumps back down to 15, probably as I tightened it. Do not stress out if it goes to 14.9, 15.1, 15.2. This is in the same ballpark. Biggest thing is you just want to make sure it's tight so the angle guide doesn't move. Have a consistent angle. So it's settled at 15.1. I'm happy with that. All right. Always like to inspect so you can see, oh, sorry, you can't really see. Zoom in. The tip up here is a little bent. It's a little bent, it's broken off. I'll fix that for her. I always love working on Japanese knives and shuns. Again, same thing up here. You see all that light reflecting? That's bad. Very dull. I mean, I got a shun myself and I love them. Just, you have to maintain them. Almost every shun I've seen and sharpened has some chips in it. So this one, it looks much better than before. But you saw it took 1,300 grams of force to cut through that. And we'll make it a lot better.
All right, 120 grit Kubatron belt set at 15 degrees.
All right. Well, I figured I would just respond to comments when I'm swapping out belts. I'll take my mask off. All right. Thank you very much, Dennis. I appreciate you letting other people know that they should subscribe, or at least thumbs up and subscribe. Took a lot of swipes, actually, with that fresh 120, so I'm glad I swapped it out. And now I have a new Trizac 600 grit, A30. Yeah, I think it could be a little bit of ASMR sharpening knives. So I'm not sure how boring it is for you guys, or you actually enjoy it. So, Mike, I appreciate that. Yeah, the subscribe button. Cool. Thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. So, I think it was this knife I was pointing at that there was a little bit of like a dent, a little bit of a chip. So I had to take a few more passes with that. But yeah, noticing right off the bat, light is very important. When I was here, on every knife, there's so much light reflecting, which means it's a very dull and rolled edge. So I knew that these were going to be pretty bad. I didn't think they were going to be as bad when I tested on my best scale. So Mike, that one is for you, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, so I'm switching to the A16, which is 1200 grit.
All right. All done sharpening. All right, now we'll go back to my leather belt. I put an arrow on this because it seems to track better in one direction than the other. So if you ever do sharpen knives and something isn't tracking well for you, try swapping the belt around. That might just be a very simple trick that might work well. Sweet, let's get this light out of the way so you guys can see. One thing that is tough is having your own way of sharpening and then kind of changing it up with the camera in the way. So I have this new neck camera mount. So it's around my neck right now, and I think it's a little bit better of a view. So let me guys know how you like this angle, and yeah. I know Mike would love this, keeping my workstation clean, swapping out this back here. Okay, that's off. Got that. All right, let's get to it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm always open for
constructive criticism. Just trying to be better. Okay.
Since I go edge leading, I don't create a large burr, so it doesn't take too many passes with the leather belt. And for whatever reason, if I don't do a good job with the leather belt, I have my kangaroo strap here as well. All right, let's test them out. Yeah, that is not here. Let me zoom in a little bit. That is nice. I do love Japanese knives. It seems like the steel just cuts so well. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, I like it. All right, so before we test this guy on the best scale, do we have any numbers? Any numbers that you guys think I'll hit with this one? So we started at 1300. What do you think I went down to? And then I always like to, here's my butcher paper. I like to use the customer's knife just to make sure it cuts very clean. But while I'm doing this, yeah, let me know what you think I got down to on the best scale. Oh, that cuts so nicely. 200. Honed by Jones. Everyone, check out Warren by Honed by Jones. Awesome guy. He lives in the Carson City area in Nevada. 200, 230. We'll see. I certainly hope to get around below 200, but around 200 is a great number. So while a few more people put their numbers in, their guesses, let me just wipe this down. Thank you, everyone, for staying around and watching. I appreciate it. All I'm spraying down is some 99% alcohol. I always tell the customer after I send it back to them, even though I sprayed it down with alcohol, wash them with soap and water. 200, 230, 290. Anytime, Warren. Absolutely, absolutely, buddy. All right. Well, main person I wanted to see this was Mike, but he's not here, so let's see where we are. $210. Very happy with that. Warren, you did get the closest, man, at 200. So it cut very nicely. Let's see if I can do any better work with this kangaroo strop. I don't think it needs it, but this is more for bragging rights than anything. I found out that kangaroo strop is just a lot better material than regular cow leather. It's smoother, and it just provides a lot better finish. So when you use your leather strop, again, edge trailing, because I have made the mistake of actually cutting into the leather and cutting it, so that was a bad mistake. All right. Where's all my little test strips over here? All right, here we go. $220. All right, so I'm seeing around that ballpark. Not really getting it any sharper, but yeah, this is plenty sharp right here. Starting it from 1300 all the way down to 210 at my best. Yeah. What do you win? You get to hang out with me on our days off because we're both cool people. I did have to sharpen some scabbard knives, and Warren came by to help me out. So that is the benefit. If you're a sharpener out there, get yourself a little circle of friends who are other sharpeners, and you can bounce around ideas. The benefit of him, and we also have another friend, Sam. Sam's Mobile Sharpening on YouTube as well. All three of us can bounce around our ideas. Actually, Mike as well. Mike has been awesome. We met him at a sharpening show. So surround yourself with other sharpeners, and it's so nice to brainstorm and pitch ideas back and forth, along with sharpening, and now we're growing a little bit. Go on, do another one. All right, let me do like a few more passes on this. So what I was saying is that surround yourself with people, with like-minded people, and before when we first started this little group chat about a year ago, it was a lot of just knife sharpening questions, and now we have grown, and now it's more of like business questions of like, how can I expand out, stuff like that. So it's awesome. And oh yeah, so going back to the scabbard knives, I had no idea how to sharpen it. So Warren came by, and he was in Reno, and we talked about it, and I was able to sharpen it yesterday and give it back to the customer, and he was very happy with it. So if you're new to sharpening, surround yourself with other sharpeners, and I think that would be awesome. All right, let's see where we're at. 205. Got sharper. All right. That is better than 210, but still very happy with that. Yeah, that is beautiful. Very, very happy. Wipe this one down with some rubbing alcohol. So this is about to end for the live stream. Do you guys have any questions for me at all before we call it a night? I'm looking for some cigarette paper, not to smoke, but to test. Here it is. This is the thinnest thing that you can get, so let's see how this cuts this. It's catching a little bit up here. It's catching, but this is very extreme. Oh yeah. That was beautiful. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to wrap these up for the customer. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions, please let me know. My name is Vinny. I own the knife sharpening service called The Knife Guy in Reno, Nevada. If you need any knife sharpened, I do accept mail-in knives. And if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me as a growing knife sharpener and a growing YouTube channel. So thank you guys very much, and have a great day.